Hi, and welcome to another episode of Mr. Puzzle. Today's episode is about a puzzle called Mimosa. It's made and designed by Abhishek Ruikar in India, and it comes in this little nice bag here. Let's just get it out of the box. It's a laser cut puzzle, and it was quite interesting how this puzzle came to me because Abhishek contacted me, I think it was last year in October or November, that he is currently working on a puzzle and if he can send it over for a review. I agreed, of course, after he sent me a picture of this great looking puzzle. Here, I'm not sure what kind of puzzle it is. It looks to me like a trick box or something, all made by laser cut wood and acrylic, and the task is to free this little disc here from this housing called Mimosa, as I mentioned. The Mimosa plant, also known as the touch me not plant, has a property to react to slight touch and movement. The name of this puzzle is derived from it. Okay, let's see if this has anything to do with the solution of this puzzle. Also, this logo reminds me a little bit of this disc up here. The task of the puzzle is to remove the disc out of the case. No force needs to be applied to the moving parts. No external tools can be used to solve this puzzle. Mimosa is also a cocktail. Okay, this is how the puzzle looks in detail. I think it's definitely kind of a trick box, and if you are interested to send me any puzzles for reviews, you can do this anytime. But before you do so, contact me by email that we can just discuss how this can be realized and if it makes sense, because I need to see the puzzle, of course, in advance. And in the future, I would also like to start to show these, let's say, viewer-made puzzles on my channel. For example, I got different puzzles like this one here, which looks also pretty cool and interesting. And if you would like to see more puzzles like from viewers or self-made puzzles on this channel, just let me know in the video comments of this video. And for example, this is also a puzzle that was made by one of my viewers here of my channel, and this looks pretty cool. It's a bottle puzzle, and if you would like to see puzzles like this, as I mentioned, just post in the comments. In addition to this puzzle, I also would like to show you a cool, pretty neat gadget today, and these are called the Genius dice, and they are some dice which are made from 3 different kinds of wood. So we got cherry wood, we got maple, and we got walnut, and these wooden pieces are arranged in a way that if you watch this dice from one side, you can see, for example, here one type of wood or one piece of wood, and this means it's number 1. On the other side, we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this is number 6. And this does enable you to use them as regular dice, which is a pretty cool idea. So, for example, this is a 1 and 3, this is a 2 and 2, a 5 and 5. Wow, only pairs today. A 1 and 3, and this is how it works. I'm not sure if they are really useful to use them in games or if they are more like a collector item. Decision is up to you, but these are the so-called Genius dice. I put you also a link for these in the video description. And before I forgot, I put you also a contact in the video description where you can get this puzzle. Enough of that. After the spoiler break, you're gonna see my first attempt trying to solve the Mimosa puzzle. So, no idea about the difficulty, but the design looks pretty cool. You have kind of a acrylic slider over here, which is currently blocked by something. If you look here inside, you can see that here are some holes drilled through these acrylic plates. So there are some holes in each layer, and there's probably a stick or something going inside here from the bottom side over here, and maybe also over here. I would expect on both sides, holding this in place. So I can't shift it open, and this disc is free to move inside, but you cannot see what's below this 3rd hole here in the middle because it's blocked by the discs. On the other side, we also got a acrylic disc, but this is fixed. That's it pretty much. How to get it out? These sticks here on the sides, you can see that they are glued inside here. So these are definitely, or I'm sure these are design elements and do not have anything to do with the solution. And I just noticed something. There are some areas down here which you can push in. Also on the other side. So you can push them back and forth, but they are not really moving. And if I turn it around, it moves better. only one of them, but this seems to work better. And there is a small hole here visible. Does it change anything here on the top? What is this? The disc stopped moving. Ah, now it's... No, it's definitely... It was definitely changing. Can I move this in the other direction also? Yes. Oh, even further. There's another hole here. If I look inside here, I can also see a hole. Not sure if you are able to see this. But this hole here seems to interfere with another hole which is down here. So I would expect that if I hold it upright, there are two pins located here and here. One or two. If I turn it around, they will drop out here through this hole and I will be able to shift it. And it seems to me like these sticks up here are aligned with these holes. So maybe I need to find a way to move these holes in the right place that these sticks will drop down. And then I can shift it out and take out the disc. This would make sense. Not sure what this name of the puzzle so far means in relation to this puzzle, because it's Mimosa, the touch me not plant. But if I don't touch it, I won't solve it for sure. Okay, so this mechanism works pretty reliable. If I put it back in, it's locked again. Let's put it in the middle. Whoa, this is difficult. If I see how sensitive this is. If I try to, let's say, turn it around, this disc, since it's positioned on the side, is very easy to move. Oh! It seems I did something right. I positioned the disc in the center, and if I position the disc in the center, it seems I can move out both of these. Maybe I need to go get it back to the other side. Around. Okay, so now this pin here is probably out, but on the other side there's still one in, and this pin is blocked by this one here. So let me just get this up again, but then the second pin over here can drop inside this hole, not in position. So how can I get it all the way down? Let's see. The thing is locking these two plates in place. And if I look here, from here, I can see that the first hole, this one, is further out than the second one. So if I want to align these two, I need to align them in a way that the lower one sticks out a little, the upper one sticks out a little bit, while the lower one is more or less in all the way in. Let's see what would cause this here on the other side. This one, I think it's kind of similar. And the one over here, just slightly in, maybe like so. Now the pin is down here, but not here anymore. Ah, how can I manage to do this? I have to use the holes, I think. Maybe it's blocked by the middle one, and I need to get the middle one out again by putting the disc in the right place. Yeah, okay, so there's another pin in the center. So this seems this plate has also a hole in the center. And only if I turn it around and center the disc over here, the pin is getting out and I can move this one. So now let me align all three. I will try to align the holes and the pins. And I think it should be somehow like slightly like this now. Oh yes, and here we go. Cracked open, puzzle solved. Getting the disc out, and here are the three pins. You got the point? Let me maybe draw how I solved this one. What I liked on this puzzle was that you first need to find out step by step how this puzzle is built, and then you get a clue on how you need to arrange these pins and how you can influence the position of the pins. You can work it out step by step. This is pretty cool. Of course, there's a small risk that you might solve it randomly in the beginning, but the risk is very small, I think. And this is how it works. So you got, where is my pencil? Here. You got three channels in here. Number one, which is interfering with the lid. Number two, which is not interfering with the lid. And another one here, which is also interfering with the lid. So means there is another one in the middle, in the center, and this is only going until here. And here is this disc on the top, while down here are these sliders. The upper one seems to be interfering with the middle one, and the lower one, make these a little bit longer, the lower one seems to only interfere with these two, but not with the centered one. This lower one was locked, so what I did now, I turned it around, the pins dropped up here, and I was able to move this one. Second, I placed this disc here in the center, which enabled me to move the center pin up and down, and also unlock these two, this slider here. And then the only thing was to understand that these holes, which were partially visible on these sliders, need to be aligned with the pins, and then I was able to take it out. Pretty cool puzzle. Abhishek, congratulations on this design. Really enjoyed the solve. The difficulty I would rate with a 3 out of a maximum of 5. And let me just get it back together and try one more time to solve it. Back together. Now let me explain you how to solve it. First thing I need to do is I need to place the disc in the center, like so, and turn it around. If I do it the right way, I will be able to move both of these sliders, number 1 and number 2, because this centered pin dropped now into the disc and it's not blocking the upper one anymore, this one. So I need to move them to the right side. Now they are in the wrong side, so I move them over here with these holes further inside. And then I can drop it back. If I drop it back now, this center pin will be somewhere on this slider on the top. So what I try to do is because if I push this slider in again, the center pin will drop in and will lock this again from moving. So what I try to do now, I will push this in a bit like so, and if I turn it around now, the center pin cannot drop into this slider, but at the same time I can use these to fine-tune the other two holes that these two pins drop inside. Let's see if this works out. This one is already in. And the other one was also in. And now I can slide it and take out the disc. I hope this was understandable. Let me know in the video description if it was understandable. Again, great puzzle. Thanks for sending it over, Abhishek. And if you want to send any puzzles, as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, just contact me by email, send me some pictures about them, and I'm sure we can work something out. That's it for today. Until next time, keep on puzzling.